After a restful night in Pelican Bay, we rose early and enjoyed the calm morning light. Weather can change pretty quickly at the islands, and before we could finish our cup of tea, the wind was rapidly increasing. With a broken windlass, we'd need to raise both anchors by hand. This is a slow process, and we had concerns about swinging close to the lee shore as soon as the stern hook was released. You can see that stern anchor is coming out at a pretty strong angle, and it's kind of keeping us off this wall.
With the wind picking up so much, we figured it was time to haul up and head out. In windy conditions like this, I prefer that John stay at the helm, just in case. I'm fine lifting the stern hook, especially when it's in less than 20 feet. Our anchor does set quite hard, so breaking it free can be challenging, but it's not just about brute strength. There is technique involved. Some horsepower helps too.
Alanna is doing an awesome job hauling up our stern anchor. It's really hard to get that thing to let go, but I think she just gave the dinghy a little reverse and she's got it and is sticking the chain in our new temporary chain bag. I'm impressed. Woo! We did it! That was awesome! What'd you get?
Look at these interesting little Voyagers.
Are we gonna make a seafood stew on the ride home?
I don't think so. I think we'll send them home.
Alright. Bye-bye, guys. I've spun all the way around. This is as close as we're going to get to the rocks, so that's great. You can breathe a little easier. So we're going to go ahead and put the dinghy away, stow everything, because it's going to be a bit of a passage, a bit of a sail on the way home. Whew.
Yeah.
Feeling accomplished?
It's really not that bad in this amount of water. It's worse where we were yesterday for sure.
What's next?
But yeah, it's nice to be able to do a job. Next up is getting the dinghy up and then handing the anchor chain.
Three-step process.
Feet so straight.
Get the dinghy up. I kind of think that this whole trip has been about breaking our backs. It's kind of a back-breaking trip. We're clear. All right, that was exhausting, but we are clear. And because I can't really get a lot of tension on this and our windlass isn't working, could not have made our chain keeper at a better time.
Said this is nice.
Gorgeous conditions. I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty white-cappy. There's a bit of a chop, so I'm definitely glad we're going in this direction. Should be basically champagne sailing. So we're leaving Santa Cruz now, heading back to Ventura. It was really windy when we were setting sail, like 20-something knots. We started with a pretty big reef in our Genoa and Just the first reef in the main, but I think we're gonna flat out all the Jenny and have a nice downwind sail home. All right, so you are going to sheet that in while I let it go.
Okay.
John's been sailing these waters since childhood. I am much newer to both this place and the practice of sailing. I believe lifelong learners lead rich lives, and sailing is a practice that never lets you forget that. In my sailing journey, I am at this thrilling, terrifying point where I am just competent enough to know how much I don't know.
About there?
Go the slow way, a little more. That's pretty good.
When you reach that point, though, it actually kind of means you're not a total beginner anymore. Today, I can do things I never would have pictured myself doing. I can drive a dinghy, haul up anchors, trim sails. I can navigate. It started with baby steps, but enough of them will take you pretty far. They really do add up to something significant. I appreciate having a partner who is a great teacher, and over time I have earned the knowledge I have by showing up and trying hard and being consistent. I am living proof that anyone can learn to sail, and you don't need to be a natural, you just need to put in the time.
It's a sock. Here, I'm almost at the end of my row. I can show you.
I think that purple sock goes pretty good with your jacket.
I like it.
The whole boat is a little bit messy right now. Part of that was this morning, trying to pull up the V-berth and get to the windlass solenoids, seeing if we can sort that out. Of course, the V-berth is full of everything. Now that's come out here, and starting off, we were sailing pretty hard, pretty heeled over, so things went flying. So there's going to be a mess to clean up, but I think next up is food. I thought about, since we're sailing downwind, trying to do some burgers and stuff on the grill and really be decadent, but we're getting hungry and hungrier, so I think frozen pasta it is.
When it comes to table manners, most of us grew up hearing elbows off the table. But what most people don't realize is that this rule's origin is actually rooted in sailing culture. Let's take a closer look. Here we see two techniques. I tend to go handheld and shovel it in like a manic stevedore. John favors the more classic maritime method of hunching over his food at the table. Like a prison inmate, he uses his elbows to protect the bowl and never takes a hand off his drink. Well, sorry, Miss Manners, but this is actually a seafaring technique to ensure that provisions end up in a belly rather than the bilge. In the age of sail, seamen had to eat with their elbows on the table to prevent their plates from going flying when a ship pitched or rolled. And once you get used to eating a certain way on the boat, these habits persist on land, and thus elbows on the table earned a reputation for roughness and bad manners due to its association with, well, sailors.
Okay, so we are now under full sail, and we're probably somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of the way home. We've got our lovely oil rig behind us, so that's Gilda. Over there, there's another one called Grace. friend Gina. Look forward to getting home and figuring out what's going on with this wood place.
Yeah, it's kind of a drag for me. Almost home, where it's so nice to be out at the islands for a really long time. It's very enjoyable being out here full sail. All right, this is the home stretch. We are just about in Ventura Harbor. Nice downwind. We're trying to do a little wing on wing. It's a little tricky, especially if you're rolling. It'd be nice if we had a whisker pole or something. Pretty much time to furl on the sails. We're just trying to have a little fun with this. And we'll be at the dock shortly.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for our next episode, a full tour of Felurian, our Beneteau Oceanus 40.